Hey, Richard, how's it going, man?
Hi, Jesse.
Hey,
Hey, man. I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. My name's Jessie Hobson with CineDump.com. We let the doers know how they're doing, man. And you're a busy guy.
Thank you. Yeah, I try to stay busy.
Yeah, I just got on top of Three from Hell. I got a press release from Perfect Skin, and I mean that looks pretty fantastic as well.
Oh, good. Yeah. Do try and watch that. I'm really proud of that film, and it's hard with those little indies to get many people to watch them because there's no big name in it. So, man, definitely put the word out there. It's a film I'm very proud of.
Well,
anyway,
I mean,
go on. I don't want to take up time.
You're good. I would definitely say Richard Brake's a big name. Also, before we jump into Three from Hell, I wanted to mention I met you back in Dallas at Texas Frightmare, and I asked you about Russ Bane, your boy.
Oh, yes. I remember. Yeah. I remember you. Yeah.
And Russ
is doing well. He's very, very well.
Are you guys have anything in the works? You guys still working on a project or like any update on that?
Oh, we're always working on something together. Yeah, we're always working on something. Me and Jeff Daniel Phillips too. That's the other guy I do a lot of it. I'm always working on something with Jeff too. But yeah, no, nothing specific. But Russ and I just threw him an idea over the weekend. In fact, suggested something we should work on together.
Excellent, man.
There you go.
Well, I'll keep an eye out for it. All right, let's jump into the meat, man. I got
cool.
Three from Hell. You know, I watched it last night. I'm really curious. I was a big fan of your portrayal in 31. Was that was that like your trial to get this role, or like what was the timeline like for you in that process?
I have to ask Rob that one, but I think because I did Halloween 2 with him, and then next thing I know, Rob sent me offered me that role, Doomhead, and I was like, oh my God, I love you, man. This is amazing. It's best role that I have ever done. Probably, I would say, without a doubt, the best role I've ever read. It's just so well written, and I mean, I adore Rob. There's no director that I love more working with. So, fast forward a couple of years, and Rob's next project, and as always with Rob, you'll get a text or a message saying, what are you up to in whatever period, next month or whenever. And I'll always say, nothing, man, nothing. Because you got something coming, I'm free. And then, and in this case, it was Foxy, and he said, "Are you interested in this?" And I said, "Look, man, I don't even have to read the script. Of course, I'm interested in it." And then he called me, we spoke, and he told me the plot and the character, and I was over the moon that that he offered it to me, and I'm more than happy. I love working with him. He's just an absolute force of creativity, unlike anyone I've ever come across.
With this character, was it exactly how it read on paper, or did you guys kind of work together to get what we saw, or like was there any give and take between you and him to get what we got?
The scripts were always really, really solid and well written before Rob even begins to contemplate shooting them. So Foxy was there on the paper in many, many ways, but obviously in any part that you play, whether it's with Rob or wherever, you bring your own thing to it. And with Rob in particular on this role, he really encouraged some improvisation from time to time. So there was definitely, we would shoot what was on the script, but then after a few takes, he'd come over and go, "Okay, now try this," and he'd whisper some ideas that he had to me, which I would then proceed to. He would walk behind the camera and go, "Action," and I'd have about 3 seconds to pull it together and go and do some crazy monologue to Bill or whatever it was, or Sherry, and they would then be improvising back, because both of them were just brilliant actors, so good. So then, so there was freedom in that. He definitely, the thing that's so great about Rob is he really, one of the many things is that he really lets you bring as much as you can to it. and it doesn't in any way stop you from being as creative as you can be, which is why another reason why I love working with him, and why I think so many actors jump whenever he says, you know, do you want to be in my film? So if you look at all the character actors that just pop in sometimes and do one scene, you know, they want to be there because they just love working with the guy, and he is just absolutely fabulous.
I'm glad you mentioned the improv, because I can, for someone that does watch a lot of movies, I could definitely see that, and I think that was some of the best pieces for me as far as like viewing this film. And I was curious, you mentioned Mosley. Some of my favorite scenes were just you and him like going back and forth. Y'all work really, really well together. How do you explain that chemistry?
It's funny. There's no way that you can. It's one of those things that you can't really explain. It just sort of happens when you just click. I mean, I felt it with with both of them, all three of us. I felt it with Baby and with Bill. You know, one of the things, I hadn't worked with Bill before, so my first scene when I arrived about 4 days after they started shooting, because I was just finishing up another movie over in Spain. So I literally flew to London, changed my underwear, and got on a plane to LA, and I showed up on set. My first scene was with Bill. And then we were doing the scene, and it was just, I mean, right away, I was just clicking. I just felt it with him because he's such a great actor. And then in walks Baby, and Sherry's just in full baby mode. And I remember sitting there looking at her thinking, you are absolutely genius. You are absolutely brilliant. And I realized the camera was on me. And I thought, oh shit, Foxy, I'm supposed to be Foxy. And then I thought, this is perfect. This is how Foxy be feeling about it right now. And then, you know, that really then, from that point on, I knew it was just going to click. And I was happy that, you know, the whole shoot, it just felt so easy to work with the two of them. And I'm really pleased that you and a few others have said exactly the same, that they can really see that chemistry between the three of us, because we definitely felt it while we were shooting. And I'm really glad that it seems to have, come across in the actual film itself. So that's great. Good news.
So you mentioned the text. You mentioned, you know, getting, you know, Rob hitting you up. Was there any hesitation with joining? I mean, you did do Halloween, but I guess this is a little bit bigger in a sense, because this is like the third, you know, piece in a series. Was there any hesitation to, you know, taking those reins and jumping into a kind of established fan favorite, you know, series?
None whatsoever. Yeah, no hesitation whatsoever. Didn't even cross my mind. You know, what the two films from before are absolutely genius, and this film, you know, what is its own take and its own direction for the series, and it's its own film. And Foxy's is another flavor to this world. So I had absolutely no hesitation to jump on board and see where it takes us.
I love it, man.
One word, definitely no, man. In fact, it was opposite of hesitation. It was like, when can we start? I remember I ran down to, you know, I was doing something else at the time, and my best friend was working with me on that one, and I just said, you won't believe. Well, I just spoke to Robin, and you know, and I was jumping over the moon with what was coming with this film. So no hesitation. The opposite, whatever the opposite is, to absolute excitement.
Well, perfect, man. That's why we love you. So I definitely appreciate your time. You know, the movie was excellent, and you know, I can't wait for it to, you know, hit a bigger stage, and then everyone else can see how fantastic, you know, not only you were, but you know how the three of you guys worked together. It was an absolute treat, man.
Thanks, man. Really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
No problem, sir. All right. Well, you have a good day, and you know, good luck with the rest of the video.
Next year.
Oh yeah, I'll buy you a beer.
Cool. Look forward to it.
All right.
All right, man.
Bye.
Bye.